Hello again, everyone. This is Jim here with another video update. It's been a little while, and I thought I should check in and let everyone know what's been going on with me. I've sort of haven't been, I've been real busy lately, and I haven't put up a video, as you may have noticed, in quite some time. I've sort of had maybe a lack of creative energy. Haven't really known what I should put up. I thought about making a video here or there, but just it seemed a little lethargic. I've been busy with some new things I'm pursuing also, and so anyway, here I am. I thought there has been some things going on, and I feel like I need to share it with everyone. Let's say the topic is mainly maintenance of your weight and your lifestyle after you've changed your diet, your eating routine, etc. I made a radical change like 3 years ago, and I lost a hell of a lot of weight and totally transformed my diet, my routine, my lifestyle, and I feel a lot better that I've done that. Entered the maintenance zone, though. I have remained vigilant, as I've said many times. I mean, I don't take anything to chance. I continue to weigh every day. I continue to track measurements, and I continue to listen to my body for signs. I stay on my diet pretty much. When I'm at home, it's practically 100% of the time. Occasionally, when I'm traveling, there might be a little dalliance. For example, the trip to Italy was a complete was a complete dalliance. But so I'm pretty strict in the maintenance. So what I want to say, why I'm making this video is I made my last video and I described what I did in Italy, and that I completely kind of let loose for the really 4.5 days I was there. I just ate like an Italian. I had pasta and 2 meals a day, and I had some dessert. I had cookies. I had beer and wine. I mean, I kept as much as possible to what I consider good food, but I mean, it was completely off the rails in terms of my normal diet when I'm at home. And when I made my video recap of the Italy trip, I remember I stated that I had been home. Once I got home, I noticed that I had gained 9 pounds, and I wasn't too worried about it. In fact, I think when I made my video, I was already within 2 pounds of my normal weight zone. So I wasn't too worried about catching up. And it seemed like everything was good. Since that video, I have to say, and what I want to is not a confession, but it's just, I'm just sharing what's gone on with me. I have been a little off. I mean, I haven't been quite my normal self. I mean, not much different, but a little different, noticeable different. And I let weeks and weeks go by, and it just continued to be off, and it continued to drift off. And this, over time, started to bother me more and more. And when I say off, what I mean is that I felt a little more lethargic. Like, for sure, in my running, I noticed a difference. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't mention it on my channel here, but I had targeted to run a half marathon back in the end of September, and I was training for it. And after coming back from Italy, I noticed I had a lack of interest in doing the long, let's say, marathon style runs where you're out there for, in some cases, I'd gone between 3 and I went up to 5 hours of running. I no longer had any interest in doing that. First it was like, well, I tried to do 15 miles, and then I stopped short at 12. And then, okay, next week I tried to do 12, and then I ended up only doing 9. And I tried to do 9, and I cut that a little short. I mean, it was this progressive. And when I say cut short, it was more a mental thing, I would say. I just didn't have the drive. I didn't have the interest. I had lack of patience. I didn't like spending so much time running. I don't know. I was just off compared to before the trip, and I don't know what to attribute that to. I also felt in my running, and this is probably nothing to do with my trip to Italy, just in general, I feel this year a little bit like I've sort of lost a little bit of my, let's say, my oxygen uptake. I think they call it VO2 max. Like I'm slightly just a hair slower this year, and I don't feel like I get quite as much oxygen. That may be due to age or whatever. I don't know, but so there was that. I noticed a little difference in the running, and in my eating. I noticed I was wanting to eat more, like bigger quantities and more snacking. And for me, the only snack food that I have at home, I call it a snack food, is pork rinds and butter. And I will eat that as a snack just before my meal, as I'm making my meal. I'll bring out some butter and some pork rinds, and I'll start working on that. And I found myself not too disciplined as far as when to cut that off, because that's something, it's hard to stop. I mean, I could eat a whole stick of butter and a whole bag of pork rinds if I didn't consciously say, oh, okay, that's enough. And I was eating more and more like that, and eating more meat. I was still doing my one meal a day. I wasn't doing any really deviating off course. It's just I was eating more. And then the other thing I started noticing is my weight started to slowly, it was drifting up again, like a pound and then 2 pounds. And I said, what is going on? I've been so rock steady, rock stable for so long. It just didn't make sense to me. And I don't know. It was going like this. I knew I was off. And this is Sunday morning. A week ago, last Monday, I kind of had enough. And I had a big meal that day. And it wasn't a great meal. I had like ground beef, I had ground pork, and I had something else. I ate too much, too many pork rinds and butter, and I felt a little stuff that night, and a little bit of gas, and I knew I had overeaten, and I knew I would be weighing more in the morning, because whenever I eat a lot of pork or certain kind of sausage, it gains, it gives me a little bit of distress, and it like adds weight. And the next day I was like 2 pounds higher, and I just said, all right, that's enough. I need a reset. I need to I need to step back. And, this is kind of a small thing, but the reason I do it is because I'm committed to remain vigilant on my maintenance and not drift off course. I mean, in total, I was only like 3 or 4 pounds from my nominal weight that I target. So, okay, it's not the end of the world, right? But it just bothered me because it was drifting steadily week by week, and I wasn't doing anything that much different than I normally do. So that bothered me. So Monday, after I weighed in and I gained more weight, and I was just feeling off, I decided to do a fast. And I haven't fasted really. I was going to do a 1 day fast, just skip a meal. And I thought I would start up a regimen where I do that once a week, maybe take one day a week and just fast. And I haven't really done any kind of fasting like that in a long time, intentionally. So I did that. I like I said, I had a bad night Monday. So on Tuesday, I fasted. And it went fine. I mean, I skipped dinner, no big deal. So went into the second day. And I'll be honest, the second day I started, I didn't even notice that I hadn't eaten. I felt fine. And I said, well, I think I'll do 2 days because I feel fine. And 2 days is better than one day. My idea on fasting, if you're trying to like get some benefit, if you're not really strictly doing it for weight loss, if you're doing it for autophagy or body cleansing or cleaning or healing, in my opinion, you really got to get beyond 3 days. I mean, I don't think a lot happens in less than 3 days. I don't have anything to back that up. That's just my feeling. You got to get deeper into the fast for some real changes. On day 2, I'll be honest, I had to remind myself that I was fasting. I mean, I just didn't feel, I didn't feel hungry. I didn't feel anything. I mean, it was super easy. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to let this ride. And I picked a figure. I said, I'm going to go 5 days. I'll go until Saturday night. Then I'll have a reset. Maybe I'll get back, I'll get out of this kind of funk that I've been on. I'll get back on track and just feel good again. Maybe I just need a reset of sorts. Fasting has always been my go-to thing for any problems. During weight loss, it was what I went to in order to reignite the weight loss. So once I set my mind to it, then I got to do it. So I was in day 2 and I said, I'm going to go 5 days. Day 3, I started to feel on day 3 like I was fasting. And day 1 and 2, I didn't feel anything. On day 3, there's this feeling, I've called it before a buzz, or there's like I think it's just a feeling. It's a sign that your body is now operating on, I call it auxiliary fuel. It's switched over. It's no longer waiting for food. It's just running on a different system, and you can feel it. You just feel. It doesn't feel. I don't know what the right word to describe it is. I say a buzz, but it's sort of. It's not like painful. It's not hunger. It's just you can feel something's going on that's different. I start feeling it on day 3, but still no hunger, and I sailed through into day 4. Day 4, I started to feel that little bit like when you're fasting, I start to feel a little bit like that I have less energy. Not mental energy, but physical energy. I just going upstairs or just standing up real fast. Sometimes you just feel like you're a little bit, you don't have enough power. Of course, now, I also believe in exercise while fasting. And I think on day 2, I did a 5-mile run. Then on day 4, I think I did a kind of an intense 3-mile run. And day 5, let's say only about 6 hours before I broke my fast, I did another like good half-hour workout or another good sweat. So it's not like I was sitting around doing nothing. I continued to exercise while fully fasted, even up until the 5th day. And I like that. I feel that I've always felt that's where I got the benefit from fasting, because I also push the exercise of, not full intensity. I can't go full intensity. You do notice when you're fasted, fasted, I mean more than a day, 2 or 3. There is a lower limit as far as how much you can do, and I sense that. But if you stay under that, I think it helps reset the body and train the body as far as what to expect. And I just think it's healthy. For me, it seems healthy. So I did that. I went through the 5 days. I did the fasting, and this is the day after I broke my fast. I filmed a video last night of my meal that I used to break the fast, and it's pretty interesting. I'm going to describe the fast a little bit, and the reason why I want to is because, I mentioned right from the beginning how fasting was the thing that got me started. One of the things that got me started. On my weight loss journey, I did some long fasts, and then the daily 23-hour fast. So I've received a lot of questions about fasting over the since I've had this channel. People ask me about fasting, and there's a couple very common questions. And let's see, one of them is like, what did you drink? And I answer that I had mineral water and coffee. And right away, everybody wants to know, what did you put in your coffee? And I usually say a little cream or sometimes black. And that's what I did in my earlier fasts. The other common question is, how do you break a fast? What do you eat? How did you break your fast? And now I have evolved on fasting. Now I have enough of my own experience. In the beginning, I didn't know anything what I was doing, and I consulted a lot of books and read articles. And, I was really concerned about these same questions. I was the person asking those questions. What can you eat, and what breaks the fast? This is what everybody wants to know. What will break the fast and what doesn't break the fast? And how do you come out of the fast? A lot of places seem very concerned about, refeeding syndrome, and, you got to be real careful. And my first long fast, I took baby steps. It was like a 2 or 3 day plan, just juice and bone broth. And I just followed this really slow incremental plan to introduce foods. And after my second and third and fourth fast, I found out that a lot of that doesn't seem real important. You can just sort of jump back into eating. So on this latest fast, this recent 5-day fast, I fasted my way. And when I say my way, I had to drink. This is what I took. I had my mineral water. I took salt. In the morning and in the evening, I take a little salt and wash it down with mineral water. This is my normal routine. I continued to do that. And I continued to have my 2 coffees, one in the morning, one at noon. And I had heavy cream in my coffee. I didn't give up the cream because honestly, I don't think the heavy cream makes a whit's bit of difference as far as fasting goes. I didn't think it would. And so I wanted to maintain that because it tastes good. And I purposely held on to that. So to answer anybody asking, that's what I had. When I have done longer fasts in the past, somewhere around, when I got, pretty much around 5 days or beyond, I had some real bad issues with cramps in my calves. And And I solved that by taking, certain electrolytes. I think magnesium was the one. Uh, this time I didn't take magnesium. I'm going to say the night of night 4, I did feel my calves kind of twitching, which is like a sign that they're getting ready to start cramping. But they didn't really cramp up hard, but they were kind of doing the twitching. So I know it was heading in that direction. If I would have fasted longer, I would have had to go into some electrolytes. But I didn't. So it was just the coffee with heavy cream, mineral water, some salt, and that's it. As far as what I used to break my fast, I think now I'll pause here and I'll show you. I filmed a video on the food that I ate. I'm going to play that for you now, and then I'll come back and we'll talk some more. Okay, I'm going to document my meal that I'm going to eat now. This is breaking a 5-day fast, 120-hour fast. I'm going to break now with this meal, and I'm going to document it for the record. This is stage 1. This is a New York strip steak, which I prepared in an unusual way. I cooked this in the slow cooker for about 6 hours on high. I don't normally cook a steak in the slow cooker, but I thought I'd give it a try. So this is going to be my first course. Stay tuned for more. Okay, first of all, words cannot describe how good that New York strip steak was. The very first bite was, wow, what a taste explosion after 5 days. I mean, it tasted really salty. I just thought I'd put normal salt in it, but it was really salty, but it was really good cooked in a pressure cooker. Or not pressure cooker, slow cooker. Anyway, my body started feeling immediate relief and just a wonderful feeling. So here we are with stage 2, course number 2. This is a 1 pound prime ribeye. This was cooked in sous vide and then seared with a torch. So this is the main course tonight, and if I still feel hungry after this, I'm going to have one more course, so that'll be up to how I feel after this one. Oh my gosh, that ribeye was out of this world. Oh, so good. I mean, even better than the New York strip, which was awesome. Yeah, so I'm 2 steaks down now on my fast recovery meal. And I can go further. I still feel like I could eat some more. So this is a ham shoulder steak that I cut up into pieces and cooked in the air fryer for 20 minutes. So I'm pretty sure this will do it for my meal tonight. And we'll see how my body reacts to this food being delivered after 120 hours of fasting. Yeah, so as you can see, I just jumped right back into it. I had no bone broth, no, tiny bits of melon. I didn't baby it at all. I went right back into my normal food, and boy, was it good. And, just meat. I didn't have pork rind. I'm not jumping back into the pork rinds and butter snacking type food, I call it. I'll still have that, but I'm going to keep that, I'm going to relegate that to a secondary status and maybe just do that a few times a week. But I just want to say to all the fasting questioners or the fasting experts, you see so many people that are experts on fasting, and I don't know how much fasting they do, but I've had these comments. I tell people I put cream in the coffee, and I'm sure I'll get more now when I say I put heavy cream in the coffee. I'll get these comments, and it goes something like, Dr. So-and-so says heavy cream breaks your fast, and I don't want to break my fast, And this concept of breaking the fast, I don't understand what that means, breaking the fast. When eating breaks the fast, that's how you break a fast, because your body recognizes the chewing and the food, and it starts to do its thing. Taking a little heavy cream in a coffee, there may be, I go by Dr. Fung on this. He's the only, I consider him an expert on fasting because he treats people with fasting and has for a long time and has a lot of data. And I rely on my own experience. A little cream, there may be some tiny insulin response from that, but so what? It's not, it's just a little blip, and it doesn't ruin your fast. It doesn't mean, oh my God, it's not the same as eating a meal. So people, I just want to say people need to relax about this everybody's worried about breaking the fast. The things I wouldn't do on a fast that are going to break the fast are, I wouldn't eat, okay, and avoid anything sweet related. Whether it's natural or not. And I'd say stay away from artificial stuff, I'd say stay away from everything other than what I mentioned, coffee, cream. You can have tea, coffee. To me, this is fine. And I'm going to say I did not feel any difference when I drank the coffee with cream. I didn't feel like, oh, now I'm not fasting. Like it's totally, I feel like I just had a meal. No, I don't. I felt still like I was deep into a fast. So that's one thing I want to say is just relax a little bit. Just, on what you can have and what breaks a fast. What is the metric? What is the measurement that says you're out of fasting? Maybe plotting, if you did an insulin plot. If you consume too much, if you consume something sweet or carbohydrates or, it's going to stimulate a response. You'll be out of the fast a little bit. But you know what? If you had one small, you also got to imagine the quantity. If you had something small, something tiny, like 2 bites, okay, there would be a reaction and your insulin would rise and your body would handle it. But it's not like a meal. It's going to be like a little blip and then you're going to go back. So I just think people need, especially in the beginning when you're trying to learn fasting, it's difficult. You get better at it in time, but you need to just relax and not so worry about breaking your fast. But anyway, so that's one thing. The other thing I wanted to say as far as breaking a fast, what do you eat when you break the fast? So I purposely just jumped right back in and ate the meat, and you saw the meat. I didn't hesitate. I ate all that food I showed in the video, and I had a total of 0 problems. I felt great last night. I slept well. I had no digestion problems, no refeeding syndrome, no bloating, it just felt wonderful. Eating meat like that, it doesn't upset your body. It's the easiest thing to digest. I think every other choice has some drawbacks to it. Like the way I used to do fruit juice and a little bit of fruit and some this and that and the other thing. Has salads. Okay, that causes more problems. Just going right back to the meat, this was great for me. So that was last night. This is the morning after, and man, it feels good to be back eating again. I did lose some weight. I'm right now, I'm sitting right exactly on my optimum weight. I imagine it'll drift up a few pounds over the next couple of days, which is okay too. I mean, I expect that, but what I wanted to do, basically, the whole purpose of this was to reset and to feel again. When you're not eating for the days on end, you feel your body's running differently, and you feel this, what I call like an emptiness. I don't say it hunger. I mean, it's just being devoid of anything in your body. There's an emptiness. And I think it's good to be in touch with what it feels to be totally empty, because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you in the real world. It keeps you appreciating how good food is. I mean, there's nothing like ending a fast. That first bite, it's unimaginably good. I mean, you never had any food that tastes as good as that first bite after a long fast. I mean, it's just like an explosion. If you never experienced it, I mean, it's hard to describe, but it's really fantastic. So I think it's just a good thing to do once in a while. Originally, when I started fasting, I thought, hey, I want to keep this as part of my lifestyle. Whether it's quarterly, I'll do some little fast, or yearly, I wasn't sure. But I haven't been doing that. I've been doing my daily 23-hour fast. I mean, I guess I don't really consider that a fast. That's just my eating interval is 23 hours. But I haven't, it's been more than 2 years since I've done a fast longer than a day. So, I haven't kept that as part of the, as my program, and maybe I will now. I mean, I'll be quite honest. I just want to say this 5-day fast I just did, it was easy. And I wasn't looking forward to it. When I first went into it, I thought, oh man, I so enjoy my daily meal, my meat feast. I'm going to miss it a lot, and I'm going to be crabby. And I was really not looking forward to it. But I'll tell you what, it was easy. I mean, I didn't have really hunger at any point. I had what I call the emotional side, the missing of the joy of eating. I've made a video on this before, how food is more than fuel, how it's fun, how it's something to look forward to. It's, for me, I eat once a day. It's kind of the highlight of my day, so it's like you come home from work, and normally I'm excited because I'm going to do a workout, and then I got meat prepared, I'm going to eat. When you come home when you're fasting, it's like, oh, now what? I got some time to kill. You got to kill some time. So it's not like I come home and I say, oh, how can I control these cravings and this hunger? No, it's just, I got to fill in the time. Anyway, I just wanted to describe this experience since I've been to Italy, how I felt off. I just did this fast. It's too early to say that I'm totally back where I was. I mean, I feel good. I feel really good. I did a workout this morning. I'm not doing the long endurance running anymore. I'm sticking to a 45 minutes to an hour workout, good intensity, good sweating, and that just feels great. It maintains my fitness, and that's all I'm looking to do. Let's see, what else? I mean, that's pretty much it. This fast was a success, and I didn't think it would be so easy to do a 5-day fast, but it was easy. When would I do another one? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe once a year. I might do something monthly, like skip a day eating, so that'd be like what would that be? like 72-hour fast. If I skip a day, I might do that like once a month. If I don't feel that I'm back where I need to be, I might keep a little bit of fasting just in my lifestyle, like once a month. Although I have to say, I do believe that there's less benefit on the shorter fasts, like skipping a day, like 48 hours, 72 hours. This can be helpful. I used that kind of fasting in my weight loss phase. But if you're trying to get, into autophagy and into deeper healing or body healing, let's say, I think really you got to go minimum 3 days. You need to go beyond 3 days. And so I just barely went beyond. I went 5 days. I think I probably got something out of that. Probably, ultimately it would have been good to do like maybe 10 days, but I just didn't feel like 10 days right now. I didn't feel that's needed. I guess we'll keep it at that. I didn't have anything else at the moment. I do have some other things, but I'll probably save that for another video. So that's about it. I'm going to cut this off now. I don't know how long it's been, but it's probably been plenty long enough. Just wanted to check in, let you know what I've been doing, how I've been doing. I feel great and still maintaining well, but I guess the one thing I want to say is that, this whole experience in maintenance and feeling, I've expressed before that I feel very confident about that I'm not going to fall off the wagon and I'm not going to go back into my old habits. And that I'm going to stay where I am. You're not going to find me 5 years from now up at 300 pounds again. Because I just feel, because I have a different lifestyle now, a lifestyle that I prefer much more than my old. But the thing I want to point out is that I've remained vigilant, and I don't take my eye off the ball. And I notice these little times when I drift a little bit. I've mentioned before, when I'm traveling, my mind sort of drifts, and I become this, those old habits sort of, they're there. Maybe they're part of me. Maybe they are me. They're my personality. They're my psyche, my emotions, my eating emotions. I mean, if I didn't keep my eye on the ball, if I didn't keep weighing and measuring and listening to my body all the time, I can see where I would drift slowly, incrementally off course. And I could end up wildly off track. You make a little concession, you make another little concession, and if you're not checking, if you're not paying attention to the signals, it can overtake you, and you can end up in a spiral downward. I know because I've done it so many times in the past. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think that's always going to be with me. I think that's me. And maybe for others, it just comes naturally, and they never have that problem. No matter what, they're not going to drift off like that. And they don't have the kind of personality where they'll just keep indulging a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. But I'm resigned to think that that's me. That's always there. But I have the tools to combat it, and I'm not going to let it come back. And this isn't like it's a struggle. It's just I'm mentioning this. I'm sharing it because it's why I feel that I'm going to stay vigilant, and I'm not going to deviate. I'm going to stay on course. I'm going to keep eating the way I'm eating, keep weighing myself, keep measuring myself, keep up with exercise, and then I have no fear when when I've surrounded myself with that kind of structure. Uh, it feels good, and I don't let my inner free free self take over, because that person is just real. Uh, he's a real wheeler dealer, He's a real experimenter, a gambler, and things can go off course. So I'm not ever going to let that happen again. So anyhow, and by the way, I mean, like I said, this whole experience that I'm recounting over the last 6 weeks or so, feeling a little bit off. Okay, things drifted a little bit, but it wasn't by much. But it's just I noticed that there's that's still in me. That things can change, and if you're not monitoring it, if you're not watching it, could sneak up on you. Anyway, I think I'm talking in circles now and belaboring the point. Everyone gets it. So I'll cut it off here, and just say thank you to everyone who watches and subscribes and comments. I really appreciate all the support I get. I do have a subject for an upcoming video about people that aren't supportive, or people with negative comments. That's something not so much on my channel, but other places I go. That's a subject for a future video. And one reason I'm not making so many videos now is I need to stay away from certain negativity. Yeah, we'll go into that another time. Anyway, take care, everyone, and hope you're all doing well, and your journeys are going well. And if you got any questions, let me know down in the comments. So for now, it's Jim signing off. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.